Hello everyone, this is Parth signing in from Language Academy. Through this video, allow me to present to you a new framework for your PTE exam preparation. Many a times while teaching hundreds and thousands of students here in Australia and worldwide, we come across many students who want to get their PTE done as soon as possible. But where do they struggle is time. They do not have enough time due to their prior commitments, work, study and whatnot. We completely understand that. So with this video, we are presenting to you a practice for time series. Now this series will be focusing on 7 tasks where you do not need to spend a lot of time, but it can get you a decent score. But keep in mind that these only tasks won't get you the exact score that you're looking for, but it can enable you to spend your time more effectively. Now, what are these tasks? Listening, fill in the blanks. Listening, highlighting correct words. Summarize written text. Summarize spoken text. Retell lecture, repeat sentences, write from dictation. Now, your entire PTE exam is for 360, which is 90 in 4 sections. Now, these 7 tasks alone can give you 190 marks out of 360, which is more than 50%. So, you should be focusing on these tasks first, get them done, utilize your time properly, and then only move on to the other tasks where you need to spend more time and you need more feedback. So throughout this video, I please request you to follow each and every tips and tricks that we have laid out for you and a great foundation to prepare for your PTE exam. So in these videos, we won't be presenting to you the entire thing, the entire module. We'll be only focusing on the tasks where you can maximize your score. So if you have any questions, if you are struggling with your PTE exam, do leave us a message or give us a call. We are here to help you. Thank you.
Hi everybody, this is Samira from Language Academy. Today we'll go over repeat sentences, which is one of your tasks in the speaking section. It is the second task of your speaking section, and it not only contributes to your speaking module, but also points with this goes from the speaking to listening. So it is an important task both for speaking and listening, and it is something you should be able to score very well on, and you should be practicing this daily. So just to begin with, the task description is such that you will hear an audio in your exam, which is why it goes to listening. So you hear an audio and you are supposed to repeat that sentence as it is. There are 3 important points to remember for criteria for repeat sentences, that is pronunciation, fluency and content, of which pronunciation and fluency both transfer to speaking, whereas the content marks goes to listening. So pronunciation and fluency together make up 10 points going to speaking in each question and 3 points for your content from each question going to listening. That makes a total of 13 points for each question, and in the exam you will have 10 to 12 of these. On an average it is around 11, but yeah, somewhere between 10 to 12, and you're supposed to do this for the repeat sentences. Very important to remember that the total repeat sentences in general contributes nearly 32 points for your speaking module. So it is the most important in the speaking. To get your speaking marks, you just need to say the sentence in the flow, have all the correct words, pronunciation, and the content should also be good. And 20 points from that content goes to the listening. So this is the marking transfers for both the modules, and it is an important task. Another important point to remember is that you could get 3 different types of sentences in terms of length. That is, they could be short ones, medium ones or long ones. And this is something you can expect in the exam. You could have a combination of these short, medium and long sentences, wherein short is just 8 words, medium could be 10 to 12 words, and long is more of 14 words. Sometimes even 12 words could be longer ones because the words could be a bit bigger. But another thing to remember is that even though this could be a combination, that means you could have long sentences, you need to know that even if you don't get 100% content in the long ones, you can still get 75% and still get 2 points for your content going to listening. What happens is most of the people in the exam, they're under the pressure to cover the content and all the words. They forget the point that it also transfers to speaking. So what they do is, out of the 14 words, they are trying to remember all the 14 words and get the sentence right, and forget that you need to speak in the flow. So this is always very important as well. As I told you earlier, it's a very important vital part of your speaking module. So always remember there is a balance between speaking and listening. You need to get the content as well as be speaking in the flow. That is what gets you good marks in the repeat sentences. So even if you get 75%, you will still get 2 out of 3. Remember this for your repeat sentences. It is very important as a strategy to use while you're practicing. Now let's go over some examples and techniques on how you could cover repeat sentences.
The first one is based on memory. When the speaker is speaking, try to understand the sentences and that way it will be easier for you to remember what the speaker is saying. So how you do this is, for example, I'll play this recording.
I'm glad you got here safely.
I'm glad you got here safely. This is how you speak. When you understand the sentence, it will be much easier for you to remember and say everything correctly. If you cover every part, you can get 13 out of 13 in each repeat sentences. Now the second type is, you can write half of the initials and you can memorize half part of the sentences. So this is how you do it. Let's play an audio.
You should inquire about the direct deposit.
You should inquire about the direct deposit. So what I did is I wrote half of the initials and rest of the words I try to remember. That way it will be easier for you to do repeat sentence. This technique is you can write down the initials for every word. Now this is how you do it.
Company exists for money, not for society.
Company exists for money, not for society. So this way you can do it. If you do it this way, there are chances of you not missing any content. But you should make sure that you know what each initials mean. If you know what initials stand for, it will be easier for you to do repeat sentences in this way. These are 3 techniques that you can use to do repeat sentences. But different techniques work for different people. For example, the technique number 1 that we discussed can work for people who have very good memory. If there is a long sentence, it might be difficult for some of the people to cover 100% of the content. But bear in mind, even if you cover 75% of the content, you can still get 12 out of 13 in repeat sentences, provided that you have good oral fluency and you also maintain the
Important point to
pronunciation.
remember is that the repeat sentences is one of the few tasks in your PTE exam that requires only 20% of time and effort, and it will give you 80% of the rewards. So thank you for watching our video today.